Let's work. Yo, it's go time, showtime, never backing down time. One shot, yo, make it count, yo. Crunch time, shine time, make this moment my time. Get a grip, yo, ready, set, go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Yeah, it's my time, yo time. Step into the spotlight. Get lit, yo. Let yourself go. Our time, high time. Gotta go big time. This is it, yo. Never take no fight time. Grind time. Take it to the street time. Turn the roof off. Get loco. Game time, win time. We gon' bring it home time. No regrets now. Let it all go. We bring the thunder. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's go. Bring the thunder. Let's work. Bring the thunder. Let's work.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mountain Bears. I'm Aeson Knight, and of course my cub in the co-host seat is Techy-ish. How are you, darlings?
I'm doing great. How are you this evening?
Oh, trying to stay in my sandbox.
Oh, there you go.
Keep from, destroying shit.
Oh, okay.
Always a good thing. Always a good thing.
You know. Hey, Brenda. Oh, I can't say I'm doing... Yeah, it was a day. If you follow, I know there's a few people that watch that do follow me personally, so I had a fun insurance moment today. You guys know how much I hate insurance. But yeah, it was a fun one. Got a bill for some medical testing I had done. This was done last year. Almost within about 2 weeks of a year ago. Mm-hmm. So got this bill in the mail for the entire service fee. And yeah, so called the provider of the test. They're like, oh, we'll rebill it. Please disregard. I'm like, yeah, right. Called the insurance company. They had fun with that one.
Mm-hmm. Because literally, they've got 3 weeks from the service date.
Yeah, well, they have a month, from the, they're 2-ish weeks from the service date. They didn't bill it till July 15th, so technically, and that's when the denial occurred, because that's what happened. This was a in-network provider at a prior auth test. Hey, Shannon. They said they got the prior auth. Apparently they didn't. So, of course, the insurance denied it.
Mm-hmm.
And then this medical provider has sat on this until they sent me a bill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting here going, yeah, I trust your please disregard, will rebill. No,
I need that in writing.
Oh, well, yeah, I need a lot of things in writing. So I called the insurance company. They started a grievance. They are I don't know what she was seeing on her side. On the insurance side, it looked like she looked up that provider and was having a field day.
Oh,
is
yeah.
What it sounded like over the phone. So I'm going, this is going to be fun.
Uh-huh.
Because this feels like a perfect setup for this to get sent to debt collections. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to have so much fun with this one.
Yep.
Please send me to debt collections.
We'll pay them.
I will dismantle them.
We will pay them $1.50.
No, we will not. We will not pay them a single flipping dime. We will cash in when they inevitably screw up their FDCPA.
Yep.
And, mess up their whole, calling.
Mm-hmm.
And start calling me multiple times a day. Because if I remember right, the going agency cost for that is around $15,000 to $20,000.
Okay.
Yeah, usually about a $10,000 to $15,000 settlement because their in-court costs can go much, much higher.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, yeah, we'll have fun with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been fun. I've been like, I don't know, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of things I want to talk about. But some of them, it's like, I got to maintain my tone here. So I think the first one we'll take on is Happy Pride Month to all those that celebrate Pride. Please remember that the rainbow packages from bureaucratic crabby companies, cookies, cakes, candy, meat, stores, will only be available for this month.
Yes.
How about spending your money at a gay-owned business?
Hi, Mystic. Hi, Aeson.
Hi, Mystic. Hi, Aeson. Hi, PCS Network. Hi, West Virginia Psychic. Hi, what is his name? He makes really great bath oils. I believe it's he, maybe a she, maybe a they. I'm not for sure. Let me find them real fast. They've been filling up my stream. I love their stuff. They're going to be at some events. But, and it just aggravates me. It's like the last Pride I appeared at.
Mm-hmm.
Was when right beside me was Mardi Gras Casino.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras Casino is the casino that moved into West Virginia. It is not the original dog track. They do not do anything for Pride except use Pride.
Shannon says Matthew?
Yes, Matthew.
There you go. You're going to have to drop a link in the comments now.
I will, as soon as I find his page. I mean, he was in my feed before I turned off my computer and started it back up.
Hey, there you go. Things happen. But yeah, so Mardi Gras Casino.
Yes.
They were next to you at the Pride event.
Yeah, and on the other side of me was Budweiser.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Only puts on their Pride costume when they come to Pride. Doubles the fee for when they sell to a bar.
Fair. I will say though, I know from running a student org, I really have to say though, some companies, you got to appreciate them. At least for nothing else, that they are financially supporting some of the events as well. Mm-hmm. It may just be for the advertising, but some of those events, that money can sometimes be the only reason events occur. At least as a student org, I know I will always appreciate Krispy Kreme. Mm-hmm. Because they will come set up the giant vat of like glazings and bring a truck full of unglazed donuts to anything. Mm-hmm. And we love them for that. We and giveaway coupons and everything else. We absolutely dearly appreciated the hell out of them because it was like the hit of every fall kickoff. Right. Like you start giving away donuts. Oh, everyone loves you. Like, I will say that. Like, that, and it, like, no money changed hands, but that got us so much attention.
Right.
As an organization. And it was great for both of us. Like, I mean, granted, trying to sell donuts in the South ain't hard. It really isn't.
Exactly. Yeah, but Matthew's Witchy Kitchen, love him. Bear Charms journals, love them. Mm-hmm. Buy some real. If you're going to buy Pride stuff, buy stuff from real Pride people. Here's an example. We got new Pride bags. My inbox is a beautiful one. Joe had his up. You can probably still see his in the background there.
Table back there.
We bought those from Joann's. The reason we bought them from Joann's is because, also another company had them as their rainbow bags. But we didn't buy from them. One, because they weren't on their 40% discount. And two, the company is known not to be backing us. Yeah. Not to be backing our businesses, not to be, we go there because it's the only option.
Well, Now, I think we should clarify. It isn't that it's the only option, because we do have down the street is Joann's.
Mm-hmm.
We have a small Joann's,
Mm-hmm.
not a very big one. It's not the smallest one I've ever been in. That award goes to Bluefield, West Virginia. That is the tiniest Joann's I think you could set foot in.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a little on the tiny side. They don't stock a whole lot. Like, they've got decent floor space. They don't stock much.
No, and they don't
Like,
get
it's
a lot of
very-
the exclusive items. That's the bigger problem. Like my Happy Planner stuff that I use to run my business, they've got teacher Happy Planner size. They don't have the Indigo one. They just now got the Indigo one, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, someone really needs to sit down and say, all right, this is how Happy Planner works. The stock box comes in, it hits the shelf. We don't hold it till it begins.
Well, I don't even know that's their entire problem as much as, like, it almost feels like the forgotten Joann's. Like,
And
it
it's
really
one of
does.
the
It feels like
largest
they
ones
just
in the state.
do what now?
It's one of the largest ones in the state because it's freestanding.
Well, there is that. But it seems like the forgotten one.
Yeah. It's
Like,
like your
it's
cricket
just-
stuff.
Do what now?
It's like your cricket stuff.
Yeah. Although, best deals we'll ever get is always at that Joann's. Like, they always have stuff on clearance. And it's like really good stuff. So yeah.
Right. So we do a lot of Joanne shopping. That's the reason we bought those at Joann's. We wouldn't have bought them I don't know, at some place that sounds like a doctor's office lobby.
Aww. Yarnspiration sponsors Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. He is gay. Him and Diva Dan are great. And Joann's does a lot of events with them. Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah. But,
feel free, share them out.
Yeah, share them out. Throw them some happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially this year.
Shannon says that their love the body bomb is the bomb. So, yeah. I'm liking some of their products. I'm liking some of their stuff. But that's where you should be putting your money in. If you're looking to support Pride, or you want to buy your kids stuff for Pride, or you want to buy stuff for Pride, hello bears, can we remind you of skincare? Go buy from your smaller vendors. When you're at Pride, pay attention. If you know the name, go to the next booth.
Well, and a good tip for those of you who are younger, if you're going to spend all Pride drinking in the hot sun, please consider your skincare.
Yes.
Like, you please. Like, sun, alcohol, half nakedness. No, your skin's going to suffer even more than usual.
No.
Because, yeah, alcohol and skincare, very bad combo.
Mm-hmm. Now, we will be going to Beckley Pride, and we're looking forward to it. I think it'll be a fun time there.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be awesome. Checking out, see what they've got going on. Granted, I never thought that we'd have a Beckley Pride or, a Parker's. My brain is exploding because there's always been Charleston Pride / festival.
Mm-hmm.
No plans on going there this year. Like, I haven't been in a couple years since the last time I worked it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping Beckley Pride's a much better experience.
I would think it would be. Like, Beckley's had a lot of really wonderful things going on with their different Pride or related organizations.
Right.
So yeah, I can't imagine a bad Beckley Pride.
Mm-hmm.
Though you mentioned it's apparently being held in a parking garage. I'm interested. I feel like this may fix everything I have ever hated about a Pride.
Okay. I think it will probably will fix everything connected with pride. I think that this way we can layer it, and there can be real pride downstairs and family pride upstairs.
Well, I mean, more so, like, the problem I've had is my experience with pride is in the South,
Mm-hmm.
in North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
in Raleigh.
Uh-huh.
Well, excuse me, technically, I think Durham.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, oh God, that's a hot day. That's a real hot day because I swear they just chose the hottest day in June every single year. And we were part of the parade. Like, I'm marching along with a giant, like, banner, one side of it at least,
right.
like roasting.
Right.
And it feels at that moment like the longest parade route ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh,
right.
It was a lot.
It is a lot. Pride is a lot, and it's always been a lot. But then we have the other side and granted, this is probably the larger prides that I'm really getting tired of.
Okay.
All right. This started from riot. Then it became a party because we said, forget it. We're going to do it our way. We're going to party.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're trying to turn into a family event. You know, if you do not fit the 1+1 category, and you do not, fit in, don't wear your leather, don't wear your hoods, don't wear your puppy gear, don't wear this, don't wear that. Bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not there with that specifically.
Right.
I do think some prides have gotten a little out of control and gotten a reputation that was probably more than like the event itself actually was.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's kind of created like a Mardi Gras effect, is like sort of like, the gay version of a Mardi Gras where a bunch of people treat it more like a spring break and just get like way too liquored up and then start acting way too stupid for public. I think that's happened with some larger city events. Well, I can understand wanting to like turn that dial back just a little, like so that it doesn't end up at like the crazy riot. Like, keep it at the party, like,
right,
and make it a wonderful event.
Chaps.
No, I'm not saying that is. I'm just saying some events have gotten a little out of control. I can understand wanting to dial that part back. Not necessarily going, oh, we can't do anything related to leather fetish. None of that. Like, no, this isn't a museum of gay pride history.
Well, if it was, it would be there, because most of the time it's the leather community in the bigger towns that pull off the event. It's the poly and multiple households. When you got 6 or 8 hands working the event, it's it's like Kentucky gets crap all the time for their pup community. Well, guess what? Their pups are out there at 7 o'clock in the morning setting it up. When we have these little twinks running around here that need to go eat a cheeseburger, stop being whiny and realize what the event's about.
Well, yeah, but that's really hard when they don't get home from the bar and the post-bar hookup until like 6. No, I've never known a twink that I've had to go pick up. Never. That's how it always works. Like, here's things to know about skinny gay men. And I'm going to say this, and it's going to be harsh, and I know it's Pride Month, but here's the reality. If you are going to a bar with a skinny gay man, drive, because you will get left. And they will disappear on you and not show up for who God knows when. The next day, a couple of weeks, no one knows. I'm just saying they will do it.
Well, that's why you always drive yourself.
Yes, always, never, never. And if you are what we lovingly refer to as a fag hag, do not ever let your gay bestie drive you anywhere. They will leave your ass. The skinny ones, especially, like they get more opportunities. Like more men say hi, and then what they do, they really do.
I disagree with that on so many levels because I've been on both elms of the spectrum, from the skinny wolf all the way up to the big bear I am now. Please, honey, I get more than twinks do. Anyhow, yeah, Gwen, it used to be because this was a sexual revolution. Fuck you, straight police. Stop interfering on our bars and tell your mafia friends to leave our money alone. Event.
Yeah. I mean, generally, well, that is the literal how this got started.
Mm-hmm.
And then what it morphed into was more of a we are celebrating and we are out here and we are proud. Not in the sense of we think our sexuality is something in and of itself to be proud of, as much as we are proud we are surviving in this god-awful environment of intolerance.
Right.
Key distinction there, because everyone who says there ought to be a straight pride,
y'all guys get it. 363 years a year.
Well, yeah, it's like, yeah, well, I haven't noticed, like, you get that lovely, like, tax credit, you get all the other tax credits, you get literally everything. No, you've never been denied your rights or killed, maimed, injured, harmed in any way by your heterosexuality. So move right along.
Mm-hmm.
You have a pride. It's called, like, a few million years of history.
Right. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Gwen. Nice to see you guys here.
Oh, Shannon is picking up words. Awesome. Where are we at? What do you need?
Start with Stonewall.
Well, there's Stonewall. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But no, come on. Throw them out there. We will take them on.
Yeah. You don't have to.
What did we say?
We will happily provide you definitions.
Yes.
Like, we can make this a very educational station.
Hold on. Was it Pup Community? Was that the one? Because that's the one that gets a lot of people. And they are not the same as the furry community. Don't ever get those two confused. They are totally
different worlds.
Woo! And they don't do well being confused for each other. Alrighty, so take it away with...
All right, so pup community, let's break it back up. It means it's a group of puppies that are humans that enjoy being puppies.
Yes. They have masks.
They have masks, they have mittens, they have collars, they have bones, they have handlers.
Yes.
They are fun.
They have puppy play, which is awesome and totally not sexual. Like, literally, they have meetups.
Yeah.
And it's literally like watching a very interesting group of dogs play with each other.
Yeah.
Not at all sexually. Like, they just have fun.
Yeah. And they will work their dog shit off. Like, they're normally in leather and PVC.
Mm-hmm.
Kitties are cute. It depends, because I've seen tomcats too. They are adorable, but they don't have as much gear out there, which I think is a problem.
No. Well, yeah. That's a community I'm not as familiar with.
It's the cat version of the pup community.
Oh, okay. So what do we call a group of unicorns?
We call them unicorns or murder.
I forgot about that on murder. Oh.
Yeah, you call them a murder.
All right. So what's the next one, Shannon? We'll take them.
Yeah, Shannon, pop up your next word.
I'm sorry, if I can, let me explain my college experience with a LGBT student org. we had one very lovely presenter, I will never forget, Jesse, who used to come in, and his icebreaker was he had this giant duffel bag, and he would reach in and just start throwing like dildos at people. And you want to talk about people getting real uncomfortable and then really comfortable really quickly? That'll do it. Hit someone with a dildo. By God, you can't be like, nothing else can phase you after that.
Right. Okay. So next one she didn't get was fag hag. A fag hag is a female friend of all gay men. Like, she will hang around with 20 gay men. That's the only ones that are in her life. She doesn't have girlfriends normally. She normally isn't dating because she's too busy going to Friday night bar, drag show Saturday, drag queen bingo. Like, she's a straight female that enjoys the company of gay men. Tends to turn into a mama for a lot of the little Twinkies. Mm-hmm. And a second comment here was on unicorns.
Ooh, beard. That's a good one.
No, a beard is a term that's almost dying. A beard is a woman that has married a gay man knowingly for benefits or status.
No, I thought that one went the other way. That it's when typically a gay man or a lesbian woman marries someone of the opposite sex, basically hiding their sexual identity. Like, well, she can't be a lesbian or he can't be a gay man. They have a spouse of the opposite sex.
Right.
Yeah. But Shannon was good with beard.
Yeah, and also it does cover him and he covers her, or vice versa and all that. But normally there's a level of knowledge there. Now, the term unicorn itself, you have 3 different communities for this term. Unicorn 1 is furries. Unicorn 2 is you believe you're a unicorn. You wear a lovely unicorn horn, probably a beautiful tail. You have a fantasy of horseplay.
But you have to be careful and not mix them in with the bronies.
Right.
Very different communities again.
Very different communities. And then the third one is a partner in a poly relationship that only dates the original group.
That was the... Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, took me a second. Bronies, yes. So if go back to your childhood, My Little Pony. There are adult men who enjoy My Little Pony.
Mm-hmm.
They get together, they have meetups. It's a fun and wonderful, happy group of people. So unicorns are separate from pony play. That's
it's
also a
different pony play.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And bronies and pony play are also 2 separate things.
Yes.
Crowbar separation between all of those groups.
Yes.
You don't want to intermingle.
Exactly.
Like, you don't want to confuse one for the other. This gets ugly.
Yes.
Yes, very happy.
Confusing too.
Mm-hmm. It does get confusing. We do love the internet for this, because this goes all the way back to the early days of bulletin boards.
Oh, this goes back to Mantrack.
Yeah, subcategories is probably a lot more where that is. Yeah.
Yeah. Or
yeah.
specialized.
Yes, very specialized.
We don't use subcategories. It's a whole different terminology.
Oh, fair point. Yeah. Yeah, because that gets into the BDSM world. Bondage, domination, submission, and or sadism, masochism. Yeah. That was the one that's always hard for me. I want to throw submission in the middle of it, and I know it's wrong every time I say it. Oh, so Shannon wants to tell us about a book series from Heather Walden. One of the Kings loves My Little Pony. Explains a lot. Mm-hmm. Yep. He's a brony.
He is a brony.
He's a brony.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, so Brenda's cool with sub, dom, and switch, and friends with quite a few. There you go.
Old guard, new guard, Brenda. Or a mix.
Fair point.
Yeah. I mean, because there's a lot of old guard, there's a lot of new guard. All right, Shannon, what's next?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, hand them up.
Okay,
We've got a lot of
you got one?
possibly.
Send it in. Friends of Dorothy. Oh, we don't hear that one enough.
Well, that's part of the it's a P word.
Well, that goes back to Judy Garland.
It does, which is
And
supposedly the reason for the Stonewall riot. That was one of the rumors. That gay men were already mourning, so they said, "What the hell? We better well take it on."
Yes, and Dottie, we totally understand why you love Friends of Dorothy.
Yeah.
Like, I am there for that one. Like, that one doesn't get used enough anymore. I cannot remember the last time someone actually asked me that. Are you afraid? Like, I think I would just freeze like a deer in headlights if someone asked me that now.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, we'll go for it.
We love it. Like, that's the thing, guys, is we have no problem talking about anything else. You know, it's like poly relationships. All right, well, I don't know. Let's kind of talk about this for a moment. If you are going to bring your child to Pride, you need to educate them.
Oh, Justin's like, the younger generation does not know what that is.
Well, no, the younger generations don't have a clue what that is. It's like what's two videos set me off. One was what's the safe word? Love Watts, love Daddy Cress. Their videos are always educational, and they were talking about all the problems they've had with getting Pride ready in San Francisco, because of course they're part of Mr. Ass company. And then, which, you know, does a lot of funding. Flips the page over, and I would start to watch Frenemies with Trisha Paytas, who's dressed like a damn troll, but has no clue why she's dressed like a damn troll. Well, it's Pride Month, and I think it's about, and I just wanted to reach through my dang computer screen and slap the woman. You have insulted the non-binary, binary community. You have insulted the gay community. You have insulted the trans community. By now, I think you'd gotten enough lessons from the cancel culture on what Pride is about.
You know. But yeah, well, and I will say there was a weird time though. Yes, troll. Take it away. Take it away.
She looked like a damn troll. She had on a wig. Dear God, if it got any thirstier, you'd think she had stored it in the Sahara Desert. She was wearing a rainbow costume. And of course, wonderful eye makeup that we know where she got that from. I mean, that's straight from, what is that company? The one that has, you know, started getting rid of their troubling influencers. Morphe Cosmetics. You could tell it was a Morphe palette that was used. And it's like, okay, so you look like you just walked off a Pride festival, but you have no idea what the month's about. You have no idea who Martha Washington is.
Well, and that's one form of troll. And that's what we were talking about earlier with like Budweiser, is we do have companies and people that will troll the event.
Yeah.
And that's literally what it is. Just there for the money. Don't give a shit about anything else. Just this is a marketable demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's another form of troll.
Mm-hmm.
Which is typically used in a different context, and usually that is adult bookstores or any sexual event, and that refers to someone who won't take a hint that you're not interested.
Oh, that's not just a book.
Basically, every straight boy in a bar on a Friday night next to a woman with a pulse or not.
Right.
Like, y'all would be calling troll every 5 seconds. I'm just saying, you would. But that's the mentality, is someone who is just not taking the hint, I am not interested in you.
Mm-hmm.
Period. At all. Just going to try to force it. And it's like, no, you're not. Oh, cancel culture is messing with both your main communities, isn't it?
Oh, please. Cancel culture is messing with a lot of my communities. See, that's the whole thing, is I'm one of those that are multicultural. Multi-community. Leather and dog community, that puts me in one category. Poly puts me in another category. Psychic puts me in another category. Witch puts me in another category. And it's like, okay, cancel culture, can we get it right? Can we stop saying, oh, if we cancel them in a year, they have twice the amount of followers they had beforehand? We should go back to the old way where we just don't speak of them again.
They who shall not be named. Oh, yeah. How many of my friends' exes are referred to by that?
Exactly.
They who shall not be named.
Right.
Because we used to do that. Like bad breakups used to come with that phrase, they who shall not be named.
Well, and I still come with that phrase, at least in this episode.
Many.
Yeah.
But yeah, or they get horrific nicknames.
Normally, yes.
Yes. But yeah. Oh, but no, I've yeah.
We end up talking about them because they keep producing crap. And then I think there's some that we just need to leave the hell alone. Shane Dawson, leave him the hell alone. Jeffree Star, that man's paid out more money trying to take care of his community and his followers than, I don't know, Trisha Paytas ever has. Now, she needs to go into they should not be named things, but she keeps doing stupid shit.
Well, but do you ever stop to wonder is how much of this is because her career has been built around exactly what you're talking about? Is she goes through the slump
mm-hmm.
and then doubles. And
right.
goes through a slump and doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think some of it's just she's seeing it as this marketing opportunity?
Well, I think she's using it for a marketing opportunity. At the same time, you got to remember she's a washed-up porn star.
Well, be nice to your sex workers.
Nice to my sex workers, yes, but she wasn't even a good one.
I just, to each their own.
Looking at her age, she should still be producing. She isn't producing, so she's not a good one.
Ow. Okay.
Yeah. I'll call it the way I call it, honey.
I mean, don't hold her to the Cher standard. I mean, good God.
What? The Cher standard's a good standard to have.
I know, but at this point, it's just stop singing.
Right.
Oh, Brenda's having fun. Oh, Shannon is calling shots fired.
Yes. Yeah, shots fired any day. I don't care. I call it as it is. It is what it is. It's like James Charles is some little wet twink that needs to go get a daddy so he can figure out what the hell's going on with his business.
Basically. And, stop talking to 18-year-olds. Or as I like to call them, 18-year-olds. I firmly believe there's no such thing as an 18-year-old online.
Exactly.
They don't exist.
They don't exist. They aren't anything. And this is all fucking setups. I mean, there's no way that if you're texting with a dude, you're going to be sitting there with your iPhone going, "Oh God, James Charlton, please."
Yeah.
If Cher freaking messages my phone, I'm not going to be using an iPad to film while I'm texting and setting up her appointment.
Bullshit, you're going live going, ah! Ah!
No, I'm not.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't. I don't reveal my clients. I've never revealed my clients. I will never reveal who my clients are. They reveal themselves.
I'm not saying contacted you as a client. I'm just saying contacted you.
Mm-hmm. So that's my soapbox for the day. Other than Democrats are finally getting a damn backbone in the Senate, I think we're going to see the last of this filibuster here very soon. I also think they should start using the nuclear option more optional.
There is that. Yeah. Brenda's like, Joe, you all will hear the screaming. See what I mean?
Yeah, but you all won't hear it.
Uh-huh. If nothing else, you will go live, just be like, I can't tell you who contacted me, but oh.
Uh-huh.
I'm teasing. You would struggle with that one.
Again, when I do it all the time. I have A-list clients. I'm not one of those that goes, oh, I read for this one and this one and this one, and oh, that one's going to be not my deal.
Right. But come on, I got to give you some crap. Like, I'm sorry, if Cher contacts Mystic Computers, that's going to be my first question is, can I talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
Just say it. Fair. Dottie says, I fangirl, but only as loudly as they consent to.
Exactly.
There you go.
All right.
But yes. And Shannon's like, we will feel a disturbance in the force. I don't think she's wrong.
I don't think she will. I think that she will see a disturbance in the force because, things are as things are. All right. So, in other news, since I'm off my soapbox for a minute, what do you got, darling?
Well, there's a few little things going around on the internet. So in Georgia, the Northwest Georgia Family Crisis Center, Amanda Cunningham charged about $85,000 worth of gift cards to the Crisis Center's account, their Kroger card. Yeah. So someone at the center noticed the irregularities, contacted police. She has been fired. And yes, this is like the kind of domestic violence crisis center you are thinking of.
Okay.
So she was arrested on May 19th.
Good.
They did an internal audit, figured out what was going on, fired her. She's been charged with theft by taking. And this is a really sad situation for a crisis center that has been part of the community for 42 years to be abused in such a way. I just don't even know. Like, okay, run with me here for a second. I don't know how anyone could take money from a domestic violence, basically support community. I don't know how any woman can do it.
Right.
Like, it would be bad enough if like some dude who works there does this. Like, okay, you're an ass and you're fired. I don't get how a woman does this.
Right.
Like, you see these women. Like, you should identify just a touch more.
Mm-hmm.
And you still pull this off.
Right.
Well, not off, that, like, she failed. Such fail. $85,000
in gift cards.
in gift cards.
What is she doing with gift cards?
Oh, that's just simple conversion.
Oh.
Well, because what you're doing is if you buy a Visa gift card, if you buy a Starbucks gift card, if you buy whatever, effectively you can charge all of those that you want to. And effectively you can exchange those for cash. It's the same thing as the scams where they tell you to go buy the iTunes card.
Right.
Or the green dot refill cards, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was selling them too. Yeah. There you go. But yeah.
That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Now, this is even worse than stealing. Like, can we charge her with, I don't know, crimes against humanity is a lovely charge.
Yeah, because this is money meant to help support that crisis center. Like this is
This is money to pay for couches, for apartments.
No, this is her Kroger card. So this would be what they would send someone with to go buy food.
Yeah.
Like, this is how we are going to feed the people that are at our crisis center.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even get how I don't get how anyone could do it.
Right.
But
like, it works. Now, I could understand if it was a hacking situation. Like, someone was a hacker, didn't know what the company was, just saw it.
Yeah.
I could see them hacking it. I cannot see someone that's in the trenches picking these women up, putting them back together, doing this, and seeing the struggles and the fears in their eyes.
Know what you're doing. Like, you're taking food out of their mouth. Like, this money's got to be repaid somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's going to be a statement at the end of every month.
Mm-hmm.
And that money has to come out of operating.
Right.
Like, how do you continue to operate?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. Again, I could almost understand this better from a guy. That just means, it's a further example of, like, you're a man's abusive mentality.
Right.
That you're exploiting this group of women in such a bastardly way.
Right.
I just, from a woman's perspective, it's like, don't you have any, like, feeling of kinship with these women? Like, why are you working there?
Or an idea of what the hell you're doing?
Yeah. It's like, why are you working there?
Right.
How did you end up here? Why would you exploit this group?
Right.
I to some degree understand nameless, faceless corporation. You go out and do a thing. It doesn't make it any more right.
Right.
If you're working at, Acme Paper Supply and you pull the same stunt, it's no more right, but I can understand that a little better. Like that.
Well, not only that, but the impact of that. The impact of that isn't just $85,000. That $85,000 can breed into so much more. We have proven this repetitively with the women's shelter. Here, they get a little bit of money. When I say a little bit of money, let's say they get an extra $1,000. What do they turn around and do? They build the blessing boxes in Beckley with it. We have some moron run around and rip the doors off. Not even get me started there. But it blesses so many people, and it spreads out. When you have one woman who gets out of a domestic violence situation with 3 children, because there's always at least 2, got to keep her barefoot and pregnant. That's 4 lives. That turns into 6 lives. That turns into 12 lives. That turns into 14 lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those are groups that typically are working sort of on a shoestring budget anyway.
If not less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it was just a really sad story to read.
Well, it's a really sad and destructive story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, nameless, faceless corporation or like, again, like the Acme Paper Company, like I can sort of understand,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's inappropriate. It's wrong. You shouldn't do that. It's an illegal act, but I can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Nonprofits, that really already starts to bug me.
Right.
Mostly because I have been through being part of a nonprofit
Mm-hmm.
effectively.
Mm-hmm.
We were a student org that had someone embezzle.
Right.
And that was like a double whammy for me. One, it was someone I knew. That was a multi whammy. It was someone I knew. It was actually one of the first people I met when I got to that area. They embezzled, and it wasn't a large amount, but for the organization, it was basically everything we had. And then tried to blame me that I said they should do it. And that was the thing that actually got them in more trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Because ironically, one of their best friends used to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
And she threw red flags all over that statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she'd seen me and how I reacted to using the company credit card when I worked for that business.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept copies of every single receipt, what it was for, because I knew, every expense has to be legitimate that I go out and put on that card.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was a nervous wreck every time I had the card. And, I was very, very careful that I bought exactly what I was told to buy, and I didn't deviate from that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's sitting there going, yeah, I don't see someone that I used to work with that had that personality within 2 years becoming someone who's like, go reimburse yourself with the, debit card for the account. Just take whatever, Oh, don't submit a receipt? Nah, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's a short time span.
Right.
To go from don't worry, to, anal retentive to, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah, Mr. I send you to the ATM and I get exact change back and multiple receipts.
Yes.
And I'm like, dear, I just sent you to the ATM because the lawn dude was here.
Yes, and you sent me to an ATM, and I brought you back an ATM receipt, and I needed to bust a 20 to get a 10 because the lawn guys are 30. So I bought 2 sodas, and I brought a receipt and exact change.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is how I grew up. When Dad said he wanted his change, he wasn't talking about the big bills.
Right.
He wasn't even talking about the ones. He wanted to the penny. One of the biggest arguments I ever got into with Dad. Right. I lost 2 cents.
Right.
7 cents or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm a horrible accounting person, but at the same time, I will follow the rules. I get that part of it.
Yeah.
I start dealing with ledgers, my brain goes straight out a window. Debits
and I can look at a ledger and read it like it's a book. These are how we complement each other.
I've never been good with ledgers.
I love Excel spreadsheets. I still got ledger paper around here, but god damn it, I love my good Excel spreadsheet.
Well, I mean, yeah, Excel sheets are wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brenda's in the same boat with me. She knows what I'm talking about. That you have to account to every penny. And I had a boss in college that had the same reaction like you did. Hers was a little more over the top. She handed me, I forget, a 50 to go get ice cream for her because there was a little ice cream place right across the street. Yum Yum ice cream. If you're ever in Greensboro, they're awesome. Ice cream and hot dogs. Anyway, sends me over to get her a cup of ice cream. She hands me a 50 and says, get whatever you want. I also got an ice cream and came back with a receipt and exact change, and she just stared at me dumbfounded. because it was the first time in her adult life she had ever handed a child money, because I was a college student. She considered me a child. She had a child the same age. But had ever handed a child money and got not only change at all, but exact change in a receipt. She was, I've never had this happen. I don't know what to do. And why did you only get an ice cream? You could have gotten anything. I know, but I didn't want to spend too much. Like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah,
like,
and Beth says use an app to track receipts. Honey, I get 4 damn text messages if he does one transaction. He set my bank account up. It sends me one for the ATM. It sent me one that the money had cleared the ATM. It sends me one that the money had deposited to the account. It sent me one that the money had been withdrawn to the account.
I'm a little bit OCD about these things. It's like I don't like screw around with money. Like, that's why I also have the journal policy. If you loan money from me, I don't ever, or if someone borrows money from me, if I loan you money, is what I should say, I don't ever expect it back. I hope it will get paid back. I think that would be wonderful. I don't ever expect it. I mentally go ahead and write it off as a gift, and what it buys me is never having to see you again if you don't pay me back. Like, I'm not going to get mad. I'm just going to get done. Like that, and made that rule years ago. Because the one time I got ticked at someone over a stupid $10 like high school thing, I was like, never again. Not doing it ever again. If I give you money, I don't expect to ever see it back. But I also don't expect to ever see you again.
All right.
Oh, Shannon. I know. I can understand that one. My husband gets annoyed because he'll use the debit card without asking me first. And I'm calling him up like, what did you buy from XYZ? Don't mess with my budget. Shannon, I can understand that one. My dad, Mom used to make change in his wallet. And that used to screw my father up so much because he'd be sitting there thinking, you know, because he always had it in his head exactly what was in his wallet. Like, you know, 2 $100 bills, a 50, 2 10s, and like 4 5s, 6 1s. He knew this. He always knew exactly what bills were in his wallet. I don't know how. He always knew. Always knew. Mom would go make change in his wallet and totally screw with his head. He'd go to pay for something and be like, what the hell?
All right, Justin has a question. Let's get that under control.
All right, Justin, 12/5/1960. My wife, Shaylin, has written a book she is going to self-publish on Amazon. Do you see it being a bestseller?
Yeah, but she's going to have to eat, live, and breathe that book for about 2 years to get it there. Like, every word out of her mouth has got to be about that book. Her social media, her platforms, everything, yada, yada, yada. Book, read my book, see my book. Here's a video about my book. Here's what I talked about in my book. This is my book. See my book? Ain't my book pretty? That's the way she needs to be with it.
Sounds like she's going to be a book chicken. Book. Just saying.
And she's got 3 more to get moving on. Welcome to the cycle of being a writer.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So we were talking about drinking at Pride. Apparently there's some new devices that could be stopping that.
Well, this is a fun one, and this is kind of one to sit and I think on. Because I know my first reaction to it was a little like, and then I'm like, well, really? All right, so what this is, and there's been a push for this apparently by Mothers Against Drunk Driving for many, many years, is an anti-DUI technology that can be used in cars. And effectively what it's meant to do is reduce drunken driving. But a lot of political and auto industry leaders quite don't have the willingness to force it. So yeah. So the Automotive Coalition for Traffic Safety announced that its breath analyzing interlock, which can detect impaired drivers, will be available for use in commercial vehicles for the first time later this year. A consumer version could be ready by 2024. The biggest problem they're facing right now is, like every other electronic device going into a car these days, a shortage of semiconductors. So there's that. That may be a little bit of a problem there. All of this is part of a larger program called DADSS, Driver Alcohol Detection System for Safety. And these are passive systems that try to figure out if the driver might be intoxicated.
Right.
Versus your common, like, blow into the tube interlock that you have to do a breath analyze test before you can start a vehicle. These are meant to more kind of be a safety feature, but not be the blow into a tube level of safety feature.
Right.
Like, that these are meant to pick up like ambient air and notice excessive alcohol. These are also meant as systems that will pay attention to how someone is driving.
Right.
If, like, they're driving erratically.
Right.
And either disable the vehicle and force it off the road, or, basically do some other things to help with collision avoidance.
Right. Because here's the other, this is what worries me with this blow and go technology. If someone is in, someone's recently used mouthwash or cold medicine, it sets off the blow and go. If someone, and this was shown, I've seen this in the thing, if where their sugar's super high,
ketoacidosis,
yeah, it'll set it off.
Now minus the mouthwash, because I can understand that one. That one totally. That's a problem. I do have to question the safety of driving with ketoacidosis, because most of the people I've known that have had extremely high blood sugar to that point probably ought not be driving. Like, they need to be seeking immediate, like, medical attention.
Right.
Or something to reduce their blood sugar before they even think about this. I'm sorry, I've seen my dad try to drive with his blood sugar too high. It's a scary place.
Exactly. But at the same time, though, that's locking that vehicle out for them to even attempt medical care.
Fair point. I could see partially disabling the vehicle.
Right.
As in, you're going to drive very slowly to wherever you need to go for a limited range. But I don't know. And I think that's a lot of where this is at. Is like exactly what you're talking about. You don't want it to create a system in which someone is being, put into an unsafe situation.
Right.
By a car that thinks they're drunk.
Right.
But you also want a system that will react appropriately if someone's driving unsafely.
Right.
And Justin points out they had a client that got a DUI due to diabetes. And I can totally understand. I can understand the controversy surrounding that. Is, no, they're not impaired. Like, they're not under the influence.
Right.
Like the UI part of that, but at the same time, it impairs abilities.
Right. But if you get a harassing cop and runs a breathalyzer, this is why if you ever get pulled over, request and fail a breathalyzer, request a blood test. especially if you're diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
the breathalyzer will fail it because of the ketoacidosis.
Yeah. Well, but it's still an important impairment of driving.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's one, like, excessive lack of sleep is an impairment of driving.
Mm-hmm.
That's shown. Period. Like, that's settled. It is as bad as, if not worse than, being drunk, to be sleep deprived and behind the wheel. And yeah, Mary points back even that in 76, one of her high school chums totaled out because of a diabetic crisis.
Right.
Yeah.
Curious, with the one that checks the ambient air, there's never been alcohol in my Jeep, but at times it smells a strong whiskey smell. Dad, I think. I wonder if it would pick it up, or if it would just, or is it just me spelling it?
That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because that would differentiate between whether that's a sense memory being triggered
Mm-hmm.
by a smell that's physically present, or if that is a different form of sense triggering a memory that connects with a scent.
Right.
Because it actually isn't all that uncommon for people to have to smell things that aren't around them when a memory is triggered.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can sit here and talk about that really great trip to the beach, do that whole meditative thing, and eventually you'll start smelling the salt air. You can mentally get to a point, you can smell it, you can feel it, you can feel the humidity.
Right. Or, when I used to walk out of the club, I smelled like I had been drinking for 3 days.
Mm-hmm. And that's also a strong issue there, is if you're in a situation where you're not drunk, you
Right.
just happen to be covered in alcohol because you were in an odd situation as a server, a bartender, or just the fact you've been around people who've been getting drunk all night.
Exactly.
And it's like, literally, that brings up a very important question, is how much of the ambient air would be affected
Mm-hmm.
by, say, being a server in a brewery,
Mm-hmm.
or just going to one.
Right.
How much of that is just the smell of, say, the hops and that yeasty smell, and how much of that is literal alcohol in the air?
Mm-hmm.
Like, as in it has been vaporized.
Right.
Yeah, skin absorbs ambient air, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, or the DD that gets drinks spilled on them. And Brenda, you're being so nice about the fact of, like, I don't know the number of times that DDing a designated driver, I have had to do the, okay, let's hold your hair while you make room for the alcohol you shouldn't have consumed. Everyone knows what I'm talking about there, and sometimes it's hard to avoid the splashback.
Right.
But again, it also brings up the point of, what if other people in that vehicle are heavily intoxicated,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously they should not be driving, but you aren't.
Right.
You have not had a single drop to drink.
Like, this technology has to be more refined before I would trust it.
Well, and some of this is also questions that are being brought up. Now, with other automakers such as Volvo, they've integrated driver monitoring cameras and sensors into their safety systems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where everyone's at with that.
Right.
And is all of this potentially great idea, but on the heels of too late in terms of where are we at with a fully autonomous vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
As in, how many years away are we from you can be a single drunk human who takes your car to the bar, gets absolutely teetotally shit-face plastered, and gets in a fully autonomous vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and where are we going to end up legally when that occurs? And meanwhile, you have Ben, who's like, I don't even like electric windows.
I don't know. I like some of the new things coming out on cars, but it's not a lot of this take control of my driving.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, I do like electric windows because my last car with manual windows was so easy to break into, it wasn't even funny. And part of that had to do with the fact that the windows weren't electric. Had they been electric, I wouldn't have had my car broken into as much.
Do they even make non-electric windows anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because I haven't owned a vehicle in years that didn't have an electric window.
There's a few vehicles. When you get a little further down market, because you're usually going for full-size sedan, and that's almost a standard feature at this point. Electric locks, electric windows.
Yeah, I'm either full-size sedan, sports car, or a sports utility.
Yeah. So once you get into that class of vehicle, but you start going on the really cheap end, or what they call a cheap end now. You get a little further into the subcompact class, or sometimes the very entry level of certain vehicles.
Right.
You run into that issue.
Yeah.
And Brenda's like manual windows, locks, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's still a few. It's not entirely erased yet.
Right. Well, but the fully autonomous, my current dream car is fully autonomous, but it's also electric.
The Teslas.
Yes.
Although that's not fully autonomous. It is self-driving. But it still asks for driver interaction.
Right.
As in, it will, at a certain point, if you do not respond to it, pull your car over and turn it off. And you won't go anywhere for a little while.
Right.
Because it gets cranky.
Right.
That you didn't respond to it.
Right.
Which I have an appreciation for.
Well, I do too. But at the same time, they're gorgeous. They're amazing. Yeah. And they're electric. And I saw a prototype the other day of the truck, and it looks beautiful.
Aww. So Brenda's talking about her brother's new car, does the parking, etc., has a chauffeur pack with all kinds of little toys. Aww.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's having a tantrum. Effectively, yes. Yeah, Teslas get really cranky if you don't interact with that, touch sensor on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
When it tells you to. It gives you a warning. And the assumption of the car is that something has happened to the driver.
Right.
So that there is not a human present operating the vehicle. The reason I appreciate this is I do know the unfortunate nature in which a former mechanic I had passed away. And that was with his wife in the passenger seat. He died while driving. She had the very unfortunate experience of trying to effectively deal with the fact her husband just had a heart attack and they were in a moving vehicle simultaneously. I think that's a very scary, scary realization of the number of things that can go wrong there. And knowing the former mechanic, I cannot imagine how much that would have been kind of having that moment of things you aren't going to know because you're dead, But to
But
have that
anyhow,
be how you went out
right?
is that such a kind person who did so many wonderful things for so many people, to have a horrific accident
Mm-hmm.
attached to that would have been a really sad, horrible end to that story.
Right. But, when we look at the autonomous vehicles, and I think it's a great thing because, families won't need 2-car households
Mm-hmm.
because the car can drive you to work and then come back and take me to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm. That is a potentiality. Also, there's also discussion of the potentiality of what happens when grandma shows up dead for Christmas.
Well, true.
It's the unfortunate.
Yeah.
Night Shannon.
Night Shannon, rest well.
But yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I run into the, at least grandma arrived safely.
Uh-huh.
In the plus column. But I can also understand that would be a really traumatic experience to sit there and wonder why mom's been sitting in the driveway for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to go out and learn that.
Right.
But yeah, it'd be amazing for sharing one car. It also makes me wonder what the future of Uber and Lyft would be.
Right.
As in, would we potentially see Uber and Lyft move out of having drivers and just owning a fleet of vehicles?
Right.
Night, Justin.
Night, Justin.
Sorry, your phone is taking a death nap.
Right. But it's good for the phone. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's move on to this virtual meeting space thing that looks kind of cool from its graphic.
Okay, but before we go there, I want to say one thing. Note is no longer good to run your phone all the way down.
Really?
Lithium ion.
Uh-huh.
It's a good thing to do that periodically. It cycles the battery.
Okay.
Lithium polymer, which is what the newer batteries typically are, it's actually better to only use them a fraction and recharge them frequently. Running them all the way down is actually harder on the battery and shortens its lifespan.
Ooh. Well, I need to change that behavior. Because I keep mine about 7%.
No! Stop it! Good God. Do you learn nothing around me?
Depending on the day, and if the information is useful.
And I will, before we switch topics, and I know not having control over my car scares me. I think it scares a lot of us.
Not me, because I'm used to not having control of the car now.
Yeah, you've become a professional passenger at this point. Your driver's license is just for the people with glaucoma that ask to see it when you buy cigarettes.
Well, that's because you drive everywhere. Even when you say, "Oh, I don't feel like it." Okay, honey, I'll drive. No, I got it. Like you didn't feel like driving 10 minutes ago.
I know. It's it's just a built-in thing at this point. I got my driver's license at 16, and the day I got my driver's license, I started driving everywhere for everyone. It's really weird for me to be in a passenger seat.
Yeah.
Like, the only time I ever do that is like when my sister says we're taking her truck. And I know there ain't no way in hell she means for me to drive it.
Okay, so that tells me you want me to get at least a 350?
No, if you get a 350, I'm taking it from you. Okay. That's where that's at. Old school, fully loaded diesel.
No, don't want diesel. I don't want to deal with the problems of diesel. I don't want to deal with the $10,000 repair bill of diesel.
Yeah, but are you going to deal with the 9 miles per gallon of the diesel of the gasoline engine comparatively?
And I got 13 on my last one.
Oh dear God! Well, you got 13 on your last one, Leadfoot. You ruined the fuel economy on the soul. 23, 24. That's what it goes into. Every time I get in that vehicle and you've been driving, like you've run to the store and you've gone here and you've gone there and you did some things, and I wasn't driving, every time I get in, that fuel economy is down somewhere in the mid-20s.
Mhm.
Like, I see you.
I also switch it to sports mode and turn off the eco crap.
I don't. You're the one that keeps hitting the eco.
I don't know. It's on every time I start the car.
I know that's because you hit it every time you start the car. I don't know how you manage it, but you hit that button.
I hate that button.
I know everyone hates that button, especially that is not in a flat level state.
Mm-hmm. So what's this virtual meeting stuff? It looks like it's Second Life on a really weird server.
Well, sort of. Effectively, and I'm intrigued by this. I have not done this yet. It is a site called gather.town.
Okay.
It works a lot like old school, like I would say roughly 90s gaming, 80s, 90s gaming.
Okay.
In which everyone gets an avatar chosen from like cartoon-ish characters.
Mm-hmm.
But it's set in an office.
Hmm.
And it's literally an office. So you can be a dinosaur or a Viking or a rubber ducky or whatever. And as you interact with people, one, it does distance-based volume.
Mm-hmm.
You can have two people over here having a conversation that isn't drowning out everyone in this room.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is meant for, is a meeting space. Anywhere from offices to groups for gaming, etc. And basically it's meant to be an alternative to Zoom and some of the other video based. Now it does do video, and you can have a video session with the other avatars that are in this space. But it also removes some of that constantly feeling like you're being stared at by a group of people while doing your final dissertation in college.
Well, I looked at this and I'm like, why aren't they using Second Life? Like, this would be totally cool in Second Life.
See, that's where I think that you have to stop and realize the requirements for Second Life, because you ran into this recently.
Yeah, I gotta fuck with my settings.
Well, but it is a reality, is that is a very graphics intensive program. This, not so much. This is old school level, two-dimensional, kind of looks a little three-dimensional graphics. It's not doing full-on 3D rendering. Like, you can't sit here and spin this environment and go crazy.
Right.
Like, it is very basic environmentally. And you're interacting with like flat, look like stickers and do basic movements, avatars. Right. So it has a lot lower requirement for systems, and I'm sure runs beautifully in a website versus having to have an external program.
Right. Well, and I could understand that, but there's ways to do Second Life on the website through a flat machine or something. It's like $20 a month. But again, I think that I think this is awesome. I think this is more of that work from home mentality. But no, me and you've worked had virtual offices in Second Life for what, 2 years now?
We do like our Second Lifing.
Yes. So this is just one step below us. Which, by the way, of course, in Second Life, you can get a reading from me. I do accept Lyndon. And, of course, my username is Aeson Knight.
Yes.
Yes. And you can message me there.
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah. And we have a house, and it's great.
And I have an office in the house, and we have a tarot table, so I can do your reading right there. You can get the shuffle the cards.
I made his tarot table, by the way.
Yes.
So when you think it's awesome... but yeah, also,
and you can also buy it from Joe.
Like, talk about real world Second Life moment here. In real life, I put all the furniture together. In Second Life, I put all the furniture together. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, but yeah. Oh, no, I think it's an interesting concept. I think it would be really great to play around with. I'm even thinking we might want to have a talk
Mm-hmm.
about either a barista chat done through gather.town, because I
Mm-hmm.
think that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we turn that into one show just for the fun of it.
We've got to do the Second Life show first.
I know we got to do the Second Life show. I know we got to do that.
Yeah.
We're kind of working on that one.
Okay.
We'll get there.
But speaking of barista chats, we need to schedule June's barista meeting. Baristas, let me know what day other than show days you want your barista meeting in the break room.
There you go. But you do bring up a point.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just gonna on the fly. I want to test this.
All right.
Now that you brought it up,
Uh-huh.
I've been curious what this would do. And what kind of blow up it might become. Just because I know we're gonna have to run the video on mine.
Yes.
So let me go ahead and log in. And yeah, you guys are gonna get to see punk me. Because I'm a little punk in like Second Life. I'm a little punkish.
Not really. You're actually quite cute in Second Life. I think you pull the hair off in this life.
Yeah, if I had any.
You have hair. To pull that style off, you have hair.
I know, right? So I'm gonna get a million updates because we've been a little busy over here. And
Yeah.
Oh no, I have not logged in recently. I have not set everything back up. This is gonna be fun. But okay, I'm in enough. You can see our lovely, lovely rooftop patio garden.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're gonna do a share screen. And yes, screen one. We're gonna see how this goes. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's our Second Life experience.
Uh-huh.
And I am, yeah, it picks up everything. Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. Camera tools. Why can I never find this? So yeah, let me bring y'all in. Don't get dizzy. So yeah, this is my little avatar.
Uh-huh.
That's me. So, you know.
Yeah.
None of my stuff's set up. Okay, that's annoying. Oh, what game is this exactly? It is Second Life.
Yes.
This is literally Second Life.
Yeah.
I'm using Firestorm Viewer because I like it better than the Linden Labs Viewer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And we left the grill on.
You always leave the grill on.
I know. But yeah. So we have a nice little house.
Yeah, you take a little office tour.
Oh yeah, we can do the office tour too. So this is our little house. It is very nifty. Mm-hmm. We're gonna drop down with the office. And so yeah, my desk's over here. It's all neat and organized, like you'd expect. And then there's the flaming disaster. What? It's flaming. It literally is.
Yeah, that's my flaming book.
Yes. I got you a Warlock book.
Yes.
So yeah, we can go up here and actually see that on the desk.
Uh-huh.
If I can go the right way. There we go.
Take them to the tarot table.
Oh yeah, take them to the tarot table. Always. Sorry to make y'all dizzy. Going over to the tarot table, maybe. Come here. All right, let me change my focus so that it actually goes to it. There we go.
Yep.
So yeah, I built a full-on tarot table. Ooh, who has a question? Drop a question in. We want to try this. Because I bought him a tarot deck in Second Life, and it actually does spreads.
Yeah.
So bring it on. Someone have a question. Find the question.
You need to teleport your butt there so it'll work.
Oh, fair point. All right. So while we're waiting for that, let me stand up and start moving.
I want to build this house. Like, that's how much I love this house.
I'm totally there. I'm totally there. So, yeah, Joe's going to do a tarot reading, basically, is what this becomes.
Yes.
You're going to interpret, though.
That's fine.
So, yeah. And we are there. All right. Oh. Yeah, Mary's with you. Oh, before I pass away, I want a 2-level A-frame with glass.
Mm-hmm. I just like that I can open all the windows.
All right, Shannon got her question in. Awesome.
All right, Joe, flip the cards.
Okay. So we're going to do a cross, correct?
Yes.
Or 3 card?
I do 3 card.
3 cards? All right.
All right. So, of course, looking at it, we have the
8 of Cups.
8 of Cups, which means you need to walk away from some crap. Then we have currently, you have a lot of opportunities. You're trying to knock some of those out because they aren't that good. And then, of course, on our final outcome is you also need to take stock of what you've done, how much you've grown, so you can see where your money's growing at.
Oh, Brenda's having fun with this.
Yes.
Oh, and apparently I look like Mary's son, except for the mustache.
Yep.
Yeah, I went a little crazy with my look.
No, you didn't go that crazy.
Oh, and I don't think we read it out loud. So Shannon 82883, are my stress levels going to mellow out anytime soon? That was the question. Right. Yes, I believe so. Computer only. There was a once upon a time this thing called OnLive that Sony bought out and killed, that you could access through.
Right.
But yes, works on Mac and PC. I think Mac's it works.
Yep. So
But,
this is an option, by the way, for anybody that does Second Life. You can come in and book an appointment with me, and you come to my house virtually, and we can do a virtual tarot reading.
And I'm just going to
move my chair back. Thank you. Move the other one over. You've got them too close.
Working on it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I had to set things up quickly. We got forcibly evicted because they shut down the island we used to live on.
Right.
So we had to move quickly.
Yeah. All right. But no, guys, I hope you guys liked a little look into Aeson's virtual office and Joe and Aeson's lake house. If you hear me talk about me being at the lake house, this is where I'm at.
Mm-hmm. Because this is the property. We're literally on a little... Each one of the Sims is its own separate, computer island, and then we literally live on an island.
Yeah.
We have neighbors. We actually have, overhead neighbors now.
Do we have overhead? Yeah, we've got a floating island.
Yeah, these are called skyboxes. Like this over here is called a skybox. That's a skybox too.
Yeah, I think the neighborhood got a lot more neighborhood to it. Oh, somebody actually put a club in. Cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, there's a club just above us.
Wow, that's what all the noise is.
Yeah.
We thought it was the other real life neighbors.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, yeah, that's Second Life.
Yep.
So, we've been wanting to try that for a while.
Mm-hmm. We've been wanting to do a full show from there. We actually have an avatar set up to broadcast for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Act as our camera person.
Right.
But I've been curious how it would go, though.
Yeah, and it looks like it goes fairly easy.
Yeah. I was just curious, though, what the screen share would do to it.
Mm-hmm.
Some screen shares work beautifully. Some screen shares are an absolute nightmare.
Right. And I think if we use the one without the talking heads, we'll do fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all righty.
All righty.
of course, we've hit that point in the show in which we do want to thank our baristas. You guys are amazing. And we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Kathy, Mary Winfield, Brenda Bryant, Ashley Gist. I think you grabbed the old one.
Yeah.
Shannon C, and Shannon D. Thank you guys so much. We do appreciate our Patreons. And if you'd like to learn more about the show or how to become a Patreon yourself and all the wonderful benefits that brings, please make sure to visit pcspnetwork.com.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Brenda points out, wow.
Yes.
So much
IRC.
I remember weddings and meetings on IRC. Oh.
Yeah, and ovens and dens and a lot of things were occurred on IRC. Like, we've been doing virtual living for a while. Oh, I don't know, 20 freaking years?
Mm-hmm. It's been a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, this is what modern, literally Second Life is sort of the IRC of the modern age. Yes. You can do more stuff, but ultimately it becomes very similar. Mm-hmm. Because it's very self-directed. There are some in-world games. Because here's the thing. You got to be careful. While we will refer to this as a game, technically it's a virtual world. Right. There's a key distinction there. You can go into a virtual world and literally do about anything. You and before anyone asks, yes, you can get genitals. They cost money. So do really nice bodies. But additionally, you can work, you can create, you can build, you can do readings, you can design, you can literally do anything, as well as...
Today, I attended a Pride event in Paris, France. Never left my house.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we get out to the clubs.
Yeah.
A lot of us were there in the early days.
Mm-hmm.
All
right. Yep. All right, guys, we do have an offer on Tuesday. I will have a special broadcast Wednesday or Thursday. A coffee chat with a great artisan. And who knows what else will be popping up. Now, remember, on YouTube, you're now getting your daily guides, both in short form for our lovely short viewers, and in long form for our lovely normal web viewers. I am pushing it out to the other social medias. I am not, however, uploading it every day to the other platforms.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But we'll talk about that during the barista meeting on why we've moved to doing that.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Have a great weekend. Wash your hands. Have fun. Wear your sunscreen, put on your sunglasses, and take care of yourselves.
Have pride, and if you're in West Virginia, make sure you check out Ren Fair, because that's happening.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Bye.